Good morning, everybody. I'm Rita Hickman, body mind expert, shiatsu massage therapist. Here we are. Okay. And my specialty, as I was saying, is helping women figure out how they work, get their needs met, get that foundation so that they can really move to the next level in their life, whether it's the next career they're going to have or the next relationship they're going to have or a health issue, whatever it is. There's some basics that help us really stay on track and keep us moving in the right direction and feeling good about ourselves. You know, if we don't get these basics met, if we don't get nature and food and water and intimate connection and touch and skin to skin and calming times and self-reflection, if we don't get these things, then what happens is we're not capable of handling anything, whether it's good or bad going on in our life. So today we've been covering job all week, and today we're covering some of my favorite intuitive tools that help you kind of find your life purpose, narrow things down, all of that neat jazz. So about 15 years ago, 10 to 15 years ago, I don't even remember how long ago it was, I was at a crossroads in my life. I needed to kind of find my life purpose. My old life was finishing, my old job and career. I worked for the government, I ran a nature center. All of that was ending. And I needed to figure out what I was going to do with the rest of my life. Now that's kind of tough, isn't it? Because there's so many choices, so many different directions we can go. And we don't even know what's going to happen next. You know, what technology is going to happen next, what job openings are going to happen. We have no idea. So how can we possibly know, you know, what to do in this really big changing world? And that insecurity, that unknown, keeps us kind of frozen or makes us react to things and makes us overreact and make poor choices. So when I was at this crossroads, as I said, about 10, 15 years ago, I needed to open a new chapter of my life. And I needed that chapter to be better than everything else had been in my life before then. I had to make a really good leap. And the only way, good morning, Kathy. Oh, let's see. Oh, yes, it is very healing. Kathy says my yard is very healing. It absolutely, positively is. That's why I spend time out here. So when I was at this crossroads and I needed to make a major leap in my life, make a major change, one of the things I did was I turned to my intuition. Now, up until now, I didn't really trust my intuition because it had led me astray most of my life. You know, things that I was interested in or attracted to ended up punching me in the face. Things that I would be hesitant about and stand back and watch ended up being some of the greatest people around. So I couldn't really trust my intuition, what I thought, what was going on, because it was too confusing. You know, I was talking to my psychologist the other day, and when her and I were talking, you know, I was telling her about muscle testing, and I was telling her how to use muscle testing to kind of, you know, see what's going on in your subconscious. And this is what she said to me. She says, my body, because she'd been through trauma and difficulty herself, she says, my body is so sensitive to the environment that I can't trust it because I don't know if it's my fears coming up. I don't know if it's my issues, my past. I don't know. My nervous system just reacts, and I cannot trust that felt sense. I can't trust that intuition. So that's exactly where I was at, you know, 10 to 15 years ago, where I couldn't trust what I felt because I didn't have enough information. You know, I'd feel this, but what about this? And how about this choice? And what about that? And so I really needed some assistance. So I got out my tarot cards, okay? Now, tarot cards are an intuitive tool. They were first created not as the work of the devil, but they were first created as a game to help people, to keep people entertained, to play around and see what the cards would show. And oddly enough, many times it was accurate. Now, a lot of times it was accurate because we know more than we know. And when we look at a card, whether it's an oracle card is something that you just pull one card, or a tarot card where you usually pull a spread, multiple cards. Um, when you, if you follow just how you feel, you could be wrong. But anything that gives you symbology, that gives you meaning, that speaks to you, will bring up hidden information from inside of you. That's the cool thing about intuitive tools. I'm working with a woman who's going to be teaching charm casting in a couple months. And it's about how you pull out your junk drawer, you go on a walk, and you find the things that are going to go into your charm casting kit. And then you roll the charms, or pick out the charms, and they speak to you. They tell you what's going on. Now, tarot cards and oracle cards are very similar. They just tell you what's going on inside of your head. They tell you, they pull out that secret information. They pull out that hidden knowledge or wisdom or fears that you can't figure out all on your own. So when I was at those crossroads looking for my life purpose, I pulled out my tarot cards, and I didn't know how to read them. And I just said to myself, you know what, I don't know how to read these. I've had no instruction with them, but I'm going to lay them out. So the first thing I did is I made a list. I made a very long list, everything that I could think of brainstorming wise that my life purpose could be or my new career could be. I made, it was 2 columns on an 8.5 by 11, sheet of paper that I hand wrote out, and I put it down next to me. And I decided for everything that I had listed, including, the unknown or things I'm not thinking about, all of it. I looked at all the different angles, and I would do a spread for each one. And then I would look at the spread, and I would see what the spread said to me, and I could either cross, something off a list, like, no, that's clearly not my life purpose, or circle something and say, oh, this might be my life purpose. So it helped me really narrow things down. So how do you use these great cards? How do I use these great cards to really find the direction I need to go? Well, the first thing, as I said, is I make a list. Let's say it's my life purpose. I make a list of everything that comes to mind. I might ask people. I might do a little bit of research. I'll muse on it. I may take a day or so to let anything sort of bubble up so I can put it on the list. Then what I do is right now I'm going to use my oracle cards. These are kind of angel oracle cards. And what I'll do is you shuffle them, you pick a card, and you look at what the card tells you. So my question is, what is my life purpose? And my oracle card, it's perfect. It's rest and relaxation is essential. We all have a fundamental need to take breaks. So that's the card that I pulled. And as you know, I'm a shiatsu massage therapist who believes strongly in pleasure and relaxation and reconnecting. How hilarious is that? So it gives you guidance. It gives you information about what's going on in your head. Now, sometimes you may pull a card that you disagree with. So I'm going to use my other angel deck right now. You pull a card that you don't like, that doesn't feel good, doesn't match up with how you're thinking. So I'll say, okay, what is my life purpose? And I'll pull one of my tarot cards, angel tarot cards, and it's renewal. Archangel Jeremiel. Review and evaluate a favorable assessment of the facts. Time to move in a new direction. So it's about renewing yourself, which is perfect. Now I may say, well, what exactly do you mean by that? Do I need to renew myself or move in a new direction personally, professionally, emotionally, how I'm handling something? What does that mean? And so I'll shuffle it again because I asked the next question. And I'll say, okay, what does that mean? And it says, Ace of Air, brilliant new ideas and inspiration, seeing the truth of a situation, a challenging beginning. So for me, I know exactly what it's talking about. I've got a friend of mine who's struggling, and they're pulling away, and I need some new inspiration, and I need some new ideas in order to know how to help them, in order to take care of myself as well as help move them forward. So I'll say, okay, what will help me? Where will I find this inspiration? That's a normal question. Where do I find this inspiration? And it's the Magician. You are ready. You have the resources or the ability to manifest them. Life is magical. So it's the Magician, Archangel Raziel. So you look at these cards and you don't try to figure out what they mean. Instead, you look at what they're telling you. You look at what feelings come up, whether you're angry, whether you're happy. You look at whether a new question pops up into your mind. I will sometimes pull 20, 30 cards asking the next question and the next question and the next question for clarification, so that I can get an idea. Now, if there's something I don't like, as I said, a card that I disagree with, I may say, is this my fear, or is this a very real concern that I have? So my fear right now is that this will be too challenging for me. That I'm being challenged past my limits, and I don't know if I want to go in that direction. I don't know if I want to change because it's way too much work. So is this change that I'm supposed to happen? Is that my fear? Is that my hope? Is that me deluding myself? What is it? So the card that came up was Justice. And it's fair and just decisions. Do what you know is right. Stand up for your beliefs. And that fits right in. It fits right in with me following what I need to do best, and that's going to take me in the right direction. Do you see how these cards, every time you pull up a question, every time you pull up a card, it takes you deeper into the question. And this is a way to self-reflect. Using tarot cards, using oracle cards, using charm casting, whatever it may be, it's a chance to self-reflect and process through whatever is going on. We get into trouble because we don't allow ourselves to really look at all the different angles of a situation. And the thing that I love about using cards is because it takes me in so many different new things to think about. It takes me in corners and parts of my mind or my body that I didn't even know existed. And it gives me this information. It takes it out of my subconscious. It takes it out of my nervous system, and it brings it into my conscious mind so I can do something about it. So instead of reacting about everything, this is an information gathering thing. So let's say you want to find out your life purpose. I would suggest you start with oracle cards because they're much less intimidating than tarot cards. Tarot cards, there's all these rules. They've been around. People will be like, ah! So I suggest for your own comfort that you use oracle cards. Oracle cards can come in angels, they can come in animals, they can come in lots of different things. And if you want to ask yourself, what is my life purpose? You pick a card and you say, slow down, or whatever the card says, and you look at it and you look at the picture and you see what it says to you and things that it pulls out of you. And then you say, give me a little bit more clarification. And so you pull another one and it says, actions speak loudly, express your love through your actions. And I look at what the picture says, and I look at how it makes me feel, and I look at what it brings up in me. And I keep going deeper into the question, finding out all these different nooks and crannies until I feel I've looked at it from, 10 to 15 different points of view. And now I can get some guidance and really understand what's going on. I think that's the one thing that trips people up most, is they'll do a spread and they want the spread to answer everything. And the real purpose for me is instead it takes you deeper and deeper into the question until you're able to make a good decision, until you've got enough different ideas about what's going on that you feel confident and calm about where you want to go with it all. Okay? So these are two of my favorite tools for intuition, especially to find your life purpose. And tomorrow I'm gonna be pulling out my favorite oracle cards, which are animal cards. And they give you a really wonderful, well-rounded view of what's going on in your life and getting you thinking in all sorts of great directions. So your homework assignment today is, I want you to ask a question about your life purpose, and I want you to start looking for signs or symbols. If you've got cards, pull them out, or look around you in the world and ask for a sign. Ask for something that speaks to you, okay? So that's your homework assignment today, to start using your intuition to figure out the big questions in life that are really tripping you up, and using these great tools to pull the information out of you so you can start getting a really good idea about what's going on. So look around your world, look for trees that talk to you, or animals, or hummingbirds, or street signs, or commercials, or advertisements, or whatever it may be. Look for things that speak to you about a specific question that you're asking. And then take it in without judgmentalism and just keep going deeper into the question. It's fun. You can spend like all day doing this, and it gives you a wonderful, wonderful, well-rounded perspective of your life and what's going on, and the relationships or the people you know, or anything else going on. Throw out the rules, throw out the guidebook, and just use it as a way for you to talk to you. Because remember, your subconscious is brilliant and knows a lot more than you do. Okay, cool. So that's your homework assignment today. And also like, share, love, comment on other people's comments, because the more people we have in this tribe, in this support thing, the healthier we're all going to be. Okay? So I'm Rita Hickman. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.